Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Okay, sorry for the delay. Okay, can you see, can you hear me?
Yes, doctor.
All right, thank you. All right, good morning everyone. And just before we start, just to ask everybody, are you guys okay because of anyone affected by the flood in Selangor and KL? Anyone here affected by the flood in Melaka ke anywhere else? You can just write there in the chat. Everybody okay? If you're not affected, then just write there not affected lah. Okay. So if it's okay, then I will anyway, if you have problem, then just directly contact me. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So there will be two things that I'm going to share today, which is okay, let me just okay. So if you go to the Yulin for today, as usual, go to week 11. Now we are at 11. And then tick the attendance. So should have done that at 8 just now. And then for today is that I'm going to explain a bit on the individual assignment. So I have upload the individual assignment instruction. Okay. And also on the result for midterm exam. Okay. For today, tomorrow it will be we will continue on the electrical actuator system. Two more topics. Which is electrical actuation system, and then we will close it with the control, the mechatronic control system. Okay, chapter. Okay, two more topics. So for the midterm exam result, so you should be able to access the result here. Okay, no names. Okay, just metric ID. So you can go to this one, the number 31 to 73 will be on section 2. Okay, so I'm sure that you have already seen your result on last Thursday. So just go, and I have hidden the assignment. So this will be the marks that you receive. And if you see here, okay, there are a few columns. So the first one will be part 1, which is mapped to L1, which is maximum marks is 16. Okay, so these are the marks. And for LO1, it's taken 10% marks. So 10% marks will be taken for part 1 question. And for part 2 question is LO2, which is 24 marks maximum, and 50% are taken. Okay, calculated lah basically. So total marks will be 40 marks, but for your midterm for this subject, midterm exam will cover 25%. Okay, so you can just go through. So I see that some student very good. You receive very good grades. Okay, and even you receive full mark for the part 2. For example, the student, okay, part 2, 24 marks. And I think there were a few students who actually received full marks for part 2 question. And just a bit of analysis, okay, of the performance of student. Okay, this analysis is basically okay as a for student reflection, and also for lecturer reflection. For lecturer reflection means that I see that from what I have teach student, okay, I think my student section 2 should be student understood about the topic. Okay, they have, and I conclude that student have studied well before the midterm exam. Okay, so if you see section 2, 10 student receive 20 marks and above. Okay, 30 student receive between 15 to 20 marks. Okay, and 8 student, I think 10 student lah totally below 15 marks. It's basically lower than half. Okay, so the student that need to take note is those who receive this marks 14 and below. Okay, this 10 student, take note, okay, because in the final exam, there is a MCQ question also similar to what you have answered during the midterm exam. Okay, why actually midterm exam is given MCQ question? Well, it's all theory. Theory means that student, and it's open book. So students, and I think by now you understood that even though it's open book and it's theory, you cannot simply just walk into an exam without studying, okay, without doing revision. Okay, you need to revise before coming in because you need to know where is all the details in your notes chapter, which chapter is all this topic. Okay, so this is a reminder to students that do not walk into an exam without studying. Do not assume that because it's open book, because you can refer to notes, it's easy. Okay, when we talk about open book, means that it's difficult. Okay, and well, it's vice versa lah. Later on, if you are coming back to UTEM, later we have the face-to-face exam, then it's going to be closed book. Means that student cannot bring books or notes into the exam hall. Okay, cannot bring handphone into the exam hall. Okay, so you need to memorize everything and understand everything. So there are pros and cons for closed book and open book. Okay, open book, do a revision before exam. Okay, so and I will basically later I will ask students to answer a feedback form on on how they perform on the midterm exam and justify yourself why. If you receive good grades, then I will give some option for you to take. Means that, remember, before we start the midterm exam, I ask students, have you do a revision on topics? Have you do your own notes? Have you revised the video recording that I have uploaded to Yulin? Okay, all of those things, I'm going to give you the same question and you're going to take it. So if you, well, I can actually see the relationship between your preparation for the exam and your marks, basically. Okay, and be truthful to yourself. Okay, if you lie in the feedback, then I cannot help you. Sorry. So if you want to help yourself, be truthful. If you didn't study, then just say you didn't study. That's why you get below half marks. Okay, and the second thing that I'm going to share to you is about the individual assignment. Okay, so individual assignment, okay, the deadline is 31 December. So we are giving you all, even for section 1 and 2, both the same. Is 2 weeks time. Okay, don't worry if you attended my class, okay, and if you follow through everything, this assignment is going to be easy peasy. But if you didn't attend, you didn't do any revision, that is going to be tough for you. Okay, so and the assignment will be covering all chapters. That's why the assignment is given to you late, a bit late. Okay, because it's still covering from chapter 1 until the last chapter, which is control. So we have 2 more chapters. So that's why we save it for the last. So read carefully the individual assignment instructions. So report can be typed or handwritten. Okay, and for the assignment, student need to submit to turn it in similarity report. So turn it in is whereby whatever you submit a report, lab report, final year project report, your diploma report, okay, you need to submit through a system that is going to be checked plagiarism. So student, okay, as we all know, student kind of sometimes do last minute task assignment, do last minute copy paste. Okay, if you do that and if you're going to submit it through this turn it in report, then you are going to get 80% similarity report. So when you have the 80%, which is more than 30%, so automatically you're going to be given 0 marks. Okay, so the important thing is that do not copy, okay, use your own word, understand the question, and write your own report. Okay, because later on, when you do your final year project, it's the same thing. You cannot copy paste a very simple task of just copy paste from books on online and make it into the report. That is a very lazy job. Okay, lazy job. So do not do that. You're not going to do a report and submit to your boss later when you're the engineer. So you need to write your own report. Okay, so there are few tabs here. So the first one is that, okay, so is the case study. Okay, I'm going to go very fast. So case study, read carefully. So the individual assignment is going to map to LO3 and LO4. So LO3 is analyze selection and integration of mechanistic components. So basically every job topic is being covered. And LO4 is identify and analyze problem in basic mechatronics. So you students are going to be given case study. Okay. And based on that case study, students are going to come up with a solution. And that solution is going to be using all the knowledge and principles that you have learned during chapter 1 until the end of this subject. Okay. So, and it's going to be similar to final exam. So basically, okay, a tip, if you want to do well in your final exam, make sure that you do well in the individual assignment. Okay, understand well what you need to do for the individual assignment. Okay, if you simply do a rubbish assignment, submit a rubbish assignment, then unfortunately your final exam will be rubbish also. Okay, so do not do a last minute task. So in here is that very detailed instruction. Okay, design process for mechatronic that includes 7 main stages. So read through 7 stages. These 7 stages can be read more detailed in this one. Number 4, important to read assignment reference to help students to understand the assignment task. So if you download this, it's actually a book, okay, a topic in a book. Means on the on engineering design. So functional representation. Okay, you go through each of these, starting from this functional representation. Okay, about the classes of flow and member flow type. Okay, standardized function names. Okay, how you come up with a block diagram, how you come up with the input and output of a block diagram. Okay, functional and so on. So read through. Okay, read through this. Basically, what you have learned in chapter 1 until now is covering this engineering design. Okay, back again to this. Right. So the instruction is that students are required to answer selected case study by referring to individual assignment allocation namely. So please answer your own case study. If I detected students submit a different case study, then directly 0 marks because you actually refer to another person and you're going to copy it. Okay. Bear in mind, there are students who actually receive 0 marks and even in final exam 0 marks due to answering a different sets of question. Answering another student question, which is this is not your question. Why are you answering that set? Okay, so 0 marks. So the task is, there are 5 tasks. Okay, this is important to be read. Okay, you are an engineer at the XCB company and you are given task to solve the problem in case study A to J. Okay, so basically student get 1 case study. So answer your own case study. Based on the 7 stages of mechatronic system design process, student are required. So based on this 1 to 7 and based on the reference that I shared, the PDF just now, then answer the question. Okay, analyze the problem by doing the following. Identify at least 5 functions required to execute process. So what is function? Read the PDF. Okay, understand what's the function. Okay, then identify the flow of energy, material, and signal going in and out from each function. Okay, for each function, describe how the function flow relate to the problem. Write your answer in a table such as the following. Okay, come up with only 5 functions. Don't come up with 10 functions, but it's rubbish. Sometimes students answer question even in assignment and in final exam. They simply come up with a function, but it's not related to the topic that we learned in introduction to mechatronics. So when you do that and it's redundant basically. When it's redundant, then you don't get marks at all. So come up with the function that is relatable. For example, one is on actuator, another one is sensor, another one is signal processing. So each should not be overlapping. Okay, that's a tip to get marks. Okay, number 2, organize a structure that relates all identified function and flow energy and material signal into a complete process. So basically, number 1 need to be very good in order for you to answer number 2. Okay, so write your answer in the form of functional block diagram. The design must include. So this is a tip. So in order for you to answer number 5, you need to have all of these elements in this function. Okay, at least you need to have a measurement system, the sensor, signal conditioning, and database. But I would suggest measurement system is important to have sensor. That's important, and you might want to have a signal conditioning. Okay, actuator system, pick either one. Don't pick double. Okay, if you suggest electrical actuator, it need to have a mechanism. Okay, student make the wrong mistake when they answer assignment or in final exam. They copy paste from internet answer. Okay, and the answer is not reflecting to anything that is being taught in class. Example, in a system, you need to have a mechanism. Okay, but student, because they Google it, the answer. Okay, discuss study the answer in the internet, and they just simply copy the diagram, simply can copy everything. Nothing is being teach in class. Example, for mechanism, I teach you guys ball screw mechanism. I teach you all, what else? Crank and follower mechanism. Okay, so all of this and all of this are being taught in class. But when you answer, nothing appear in your answer sheet. Nothing means that what I have teach in class doesn't appear in your answer. Okay, so I know that you simply copy paste from internet. Okay, so 0 marks. Okay, so be careful when answering. It need to reflect to what is being taught. Okay, I have discussed with Dr. Fahmi, and we agree that in order for student to get marks, it need to be reflecting to the class content. Okay, number 3 is analyze the selection of suitable mechanical components. So, for example, if you suggest that in the system you have a mechanism, okay, so mechanism for converting linear to rotary. So you need to function there, converting linear to rotary, motion. Option, what is the option? Okay, so you may say that for baling, example, crank and slider mechanism, example, and so on. Okay, 3 option. And then you need to justify, okay, based on these 3 options, which one do you choose and why? Okay, justify that. Number 4, sketch the concept of your design by integrating all the components. So after explaining everything, okay, number 1, 2, and 3, so you need to come up with the design. Imagine that you're doing it for your IDP, integrated design project. You need to come up with the hardware. So how does the hardware look like? Okay, so take this case study as a project that is going to come up with, that you are going to convert it into a hardware later on. Okay, imagine that. So what you need to have in that hardware, and that hardware need to have all the component that is being taught in class. Okay, this is where this subject is important for you to be used later in your IDP project that year and in your final year project. Okay, so if you don't use what you have learned, then might as well don't take this class. So use what you have learned from week 1. Okay, label the component in your sketch. So don't only sketch it, label carefully. Okay, explain the working principle of mechanical system by referring to the sketch. So after you sketch everything, so explain how does the system work. Explain how does it, what happened when you start and so on. Okay. So the deadline will be 31 December. Submit to Yulin. Assignment tab instructions strictly follow. If not, 0 marks. Okay. Each student need to submit their own work. Submit using your the file name as your number. Okay. in the list, there is a serial number. So take that as a serial number. Is basically from 0 to 73. Okay. And your first name, don't put full name, first name only. Example, your first name is Mariam. Then 01 Mariam. Okay. Dash Mariam. Okay. Front cover must include all student information, including lecturer's name. Okay. Type your report using words if you want, but you can always handwritten. Okay. Bear in mind, in final exam, student need to write handwritten. You cannot type. So exact copy paste will be zero marks. Okay, student must check the report using turning in. So you need to log into this turning in and join my class to check it turning in. Okay, check class ID and BEKM. So basically, okay, let me just check that. Okay, turning in. Okay, turning in is this one, BEKM assignment. So basically, what I will say is you are going to log into this. Okay, just log in using that ID later on. And I will see the turning in report. Okay, you see that this one is the past year student, and zero, similarity zero, but you can also see that there are students who has similarity up until 42%, 33%. So take note, if you get 42%, then 0 marks. Okay, so if you submit that, then please redo again your assignment until you get below 30. Okay. Okay, so download that turning in report because you need to submit it in the assessment tab. Okay, so student need to submit 3 files. Okay, assignment report, which is the one that you type in or you write. Okay, assignment rubric form, student must fill in the detail, your own detail in that rubric, marks, just leave it blank and turn it in report. Okay, so okay, the rest of the instruction, okay, so assignment allocation, you can look at this, the assignment rubric. Okay, fill in this only, your full name, course, and the case study number. So if you get case study C, then put there C. And then just leave the marks blank. This one will be filled in by the lecturer. Okay. And we have the assignment allocation. So for example, your serial number is 41. So case study A. Okay. So 41 and then dash your name lah. This one, I don't put your name or your matric ID. So check that your name is listed. Okay. The case study is here. Download it and you will have your own case study. Okay. Okay, this one will be the case study. Okay, case study A until J. So example, the case study will look like this. Case study A. Okay, you are given a problem. Okay, a chili processing company, a chili sorting machine. The raw material consists of mixed dried chili of various quality, need to be sorted before being sold. The figure below show an example of mixed chili and sorted chili. Okay, so the process have the following requirement and specification. The sorting system could process 1 kilogram of chili in a minute. High quality chili has even red color. Low quality has an even yellowish reddish color. So basically, okay, based on this problem, you need to answer. Okay, you need to answer this question. Okay, the task, the 5 tasks. Identify the list, the 5 functions required to execute the process. Okay, organize the structure. So do that. And answer it. Try to answer that. And before that, because it's already 8:59, do you have class at 9? Do you have class?
Yes.
Yes, okay. If like that, then I'm going to stop right now. But tomorrow I will continue with a bit of the briefing on how to answer the individual assignment. So example of a case study, okay? How to answer it for tasks and so on. So, but I will explain it tomorrow at 9. Okay? So, but for now, please check. Go to the Yulin and check this, your name in the assignment list. Is your name listed? And also check your midterm exam. Okay, that will be all. Midterm exam result. So I think that will be all. Any question? If no question, then thank you very much. See you tomorrow at 9. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Can't join this webinar, Shafiq.